Welcome back to Mic'd Up Moments on this Saturday afternoon, May 30th. We are live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Thanks for making us part of your day. All episodes now available on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. He's back. Eddie Sierra, lifelong Knicks fan. Eddie, last time we spoke, we're talking about Yankees and Mets and Knicks. Now here we are, fast forward months later, and your New York Knicks are in the NBA Finals.
Yes,
How
sir.
surprised were you by all this?
Um, First of all, let me say thanks for having me again. What's up, Kemford? It's been a while. The question was, how surprised am I? I'm not surprised at all, brother. I knew since the beginning of the year, matter of fact, since last year in the playoffs, that we were going to run it back. So I'm not surprised at all. The way they're playing, though, right now on this streak, they've really been killing it. So maybe that surprised me a little bit, especially the last two sweeps that we've done on the last two teams. But I knew we'd be back, man. I knew we'd be back fighting, and Halliburton was hurt, Tatum was hurt most of the season, so I knew we were gonna have a great chance. But even if they weren't, man, the way the Knicks been playing this season, man, they have all the confidence to go all the way to the finals and win the whole thing. So
Yeah. When did you become a Knicks fan, by the way? Was it like born and raised Knicks fan, or that just kind of transitioned
that's
in?
a good question. I mean, I was always playing basketball in the streets. I can't point out to one specific person putting me onto the Knicks, but just playing basketball and growing up in New York, I've always been a lifelong, New York sports team buff. Like any team from New York, I would go for. So since playing basketball since a young age, I've always just went for the Knicks. And then, of course, I remember my first memories of them were maybe I want to say around 93, 94. The Starks team with Oakley, Mason, Pat Ewing, and them going against the Pacers with Reggie Miller. So I want to say around that time is when I really got onto. That's my first memories. I could remember watching them, especially on TV. So around 93, 94 for those teams.
Lifelong,
Yeah, man.
lifelong.
Lifelong, man. It's been a long time coming.
Nick, Mike Brown. I mean, nobody wanted this guy, right? He was like left for scraps. It was just like, yeah, Mike Brown, okay, the smiley guy, the nice guy. What's your take on Mike Brown, man? Were you happy about the signing for Mike Brown? Were you mad he got rid of Tibbs?
Um, you know, I like the way Tibbs was known for his defense, and what he's always been doing. But a lot of us Knicks fans, especially me, were not happy with the way he was running the guys into the ground. And what I mean by that is the minutes he was playing our starters. They were
Starters.
averaging all over 40 minutes a game last season. And you could tell the fatigue. Like you could see the fatigue by the end of the season and going into the playoffs. Like those guys were gassed. So as much as I liked him for being hard nosed and no nonsense and defense oriented, I knew he had to go. I didn't think Mike Brown would make much of a difference, so he did surprise me. We saw him utilize his bench a lot more and get those guys involved. And he's also changed the way the offense has been ran because last year it's like we all depended on Brunson, just give Brunson the ball and move out his way. Whereas now with Mike Brown, he's more about, swinging the ball around and let everybody get touches. So
Yeah.
I was surprised that we ended up doing this much better, but good thing we got him and got rid of Tibbs, man, because those guys needed some breaks, man. Those starters were gassed.
There was a lot of pressure on Mike Brown to make at least the Eastern Conference Finals, right? Not the NBA Finals, but at least because
For
anything less than
sure.
the Eastern Conference Finals would be deemed a failure, right? For
For
sure.
sure, because then they would have said it was a mistake. How many times? This is not the first time a coach takes a team to whether it be the Eastern or Western Finals and gets fired. That happens a lot. I've seen coaches take a team to the finals and get fired.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was like you said, anything less than reaching the finals would be considered, that we didn't live up to the potential that we had for the season. So for sure, it was a lot of pressure on him, but he took it good and, he brought us to the finals. So let's go, man.
Knicks, I never seen Knicks play this good of basketball before. The ball moving, like you said, everybody's touching the ball. Defense, they're playing for each other. Unselfish basketball. Next man up. I mean, it's like a well-rounded Knicks team. Is this the best Knicks team you've ever seen, going back from 94, 99, and now 2026?
You know what? I might have to admit that it is the best Knicks team because, we had some good mellow teams. But again, we relied heavily just on Melo for the most part when the offense and, it became a little stagnant. And even me remembering when we were in it in 99, The team we had was not as strong as this team. I remember making the finals, and I believe actually Pat Ewing was hurt in the finals. So our best player that got us there, we didn't have him there. So we had Kurt Thomas and Marcus Camby. We had those two guys to deal with the twin towers of Tim Duncan and David Robinson. And then the pieces they had around them, they had, I believe, Charlie Ward, where, he was a serviceable point guard, but
Sprewell. Yeah,
he wasn't a star. Spiwo was our guy. We had LJ. He was in the later end of his career, but he did hit that big 4-point shot for us. But yeah, so the talent we have now, I don't think we've had this much surrounding talent around our star since I could remember at least. So definitely this team that we have might be the best team that I've seen so far. I wasn't around for the 70s team, so I couldn't speak on that. But yeah, definitely this is, I think, the best team we have and our best shot right now.
it was kind of weird because it was like, oh yeah, we got Mike Brown, all right, and then it was just like a rocky beginning, and then they won the NBA Cup, and they struggled in the Hawks series. You're like, here we go. They should never got rid of Tibbs, never got rid of Tibbs, and now Mike Brown's in the finals. And to me, he's a damn good head coach, man. And I think a couple Knicks fans owe Mike Brown an apology. I think personally.
I mean, he was getting a few comments about maybe not living up to what he could have done, especially when he had LeBron before. So yeah, he was more like you said, he was the unforgotten guy. He wasn't the big name, the big splash. Oh, we need to get Mike Brown to turn the season for us, to get us over that hump. Nobody thought that, he was just that guy. It was basically that this team is good enough that, Joe Schmo could take us to the
Yeah,
finals. He was definitely slept on, but he proved to be a good coach. And like I said, his style definitely changed it. The rotations that he's has playing and just the whole philosophy that he brought on offense, man, it's been a lot of movement and not just relying on Brunson and the ball being stagnant with him.
for sure. I mean, what a run, right? The Hawks series, little pesky, but you got past the Hawks. 76ers swept, Cavs swept. I mean, how will fans remember James Harden, by the way? How would you remember James Harden? Regular season versus playoff Harden.
Well, we already know that in the playoffs he doesn't show up. Well, at least now in the later years of his career, he's a phenomenal player. Don't get me wrong. A one-on-one, he could take
Yeah,
anybody.
yeah,
He's always been a phenomenal player. And I remember seeing a clip actually that Kobe had said. He said that style of play will never win you a championship. And it's so true. He gave his props to James Harden when he was on the Rockets. When he was on the Rockets, he was MVP, MVP player. But like we just said, that will never win you a championship. Why you think last year with Brunson, we weren't going to win a championship the way we
yeah.
were just relying on that one
Relying on
player.
him. Yeah,
It has to be more than that. But Harden, he's been a great player, had a great career. It sucks he had left OKC so early. I feel like with him, Westbrook and Durant, they could have definitely had a championship if they would have stayed there. Because those are all three players that, MVP players. But you know, again, in the playoffs, we all know Harden shuts down, man. He ain't got it. And I actually feel bad for Donovan Mitchell, man, because that's Donovan's team. And as we saw in the Knicks series, Harden always took it upon himself to try to hit the last shot or the big shots and it started ball hogging and just shooting the three. And Donovan is just standing there like, what's up, bro? Why you ain't give me the ball?
yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
I feel bad for Donovan in that sense because I don't think Harden made them any better, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I mean, Knicks fans, they travel well, right? I mean, the blowout versus Sixers, the Cavs. I mean, they're just not beating people. They're blowing people out. To me, they're making these guys tap out and quit by the second, third quarter. You're just like, are they still playing or what's going on here? How surprised are you by that? Knicks fans traveling well and the NYPD banning the watch parties, man.
All right. So
That's
as
kind of
far as
stupid,
New
right?
York being everywhere, well, we already
Yeah.
know them like New York is a very expensive state to live in. We already know that. So a lot of New Yorkers already moved. So we already have New Yorkers that are living somewhere else that yes, they're fans and they're always gonna bleed New York, orange and blue, and they're gonna bring that. But apart from that, like you said, we also have the traveling fans. We have let's go watch them play over here. You know what? I have a cousin in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I have a friend in Cleveland. Let me just
Yeah.
knock two birds, one stone, go visit them,
Philly's right there down the
go follow.
turnpike, right? Two
Philly's right
hours.
there, 2 hours
Yeah.
away. I
Yeah.
thought about going over there. And the only
Yeah.
reason I didn't go was that Sunday was, I believe it was
Mother's Day was Mother's Day.
Mother's Day. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that was
Yeah.
Mother's Day that Sunday. If not, I was
Yeah.
going to travel there. but I couldn't miss Mother's Day, you know. So that was the only reason I didn't travel there. But yeah, we travel everywhere. We're diehard fans and we're loyal as shit, bro. Like they say New York fans are like none other. Other teams, other fans like their teams. We love our team. You know what I mean? We're diehard fans. So for the first part of that question, you know, I'm not surprised at all how we travel. We take over the arenas, as you saw,
Yeah,
even in Atlanta, which is, you know, I don't know how far from us, but
yeah,
it's
dominant.
a good distance. I'm sorry, what's the other part of your question?
And, the NYPD banning the watch parties, man. A little rowdiness, I guess, out there in New York City.
So let me tell you something. You know, I've been going to the watch
Because
parties
you've
since
been out there. I've seen you out there in the watch
I'm going
parties.
out there almost every game, to be honest
Yeah,
with you.
yeah.
So here's how it starts. The first game of the first series, it's only a few people. Then game by game, you know,
It
more
grows.
traction, more fans, you know, it gets more packed, it gets more rowdy. And up until I just went last week, man, I couldn't even get in. And I went before game time, before tip off. I couldn't even get in. It was so packed. And you see the difference in how many people are going now. You see the police presence there. And, you know, I'm like, wow, this thing is getting out of hand.
Yeah,
But you know what? Regardless, even if they don't put the screen up right outside the garden for the watch party after the games, you're still gonna get the same amount of fans outside, you know, wilding out, like we say.
yeah,
So that's not gonna stop us. You know what I mean? Stopping the watch parties is not gonna stop the New York fans because after the game, if we don't
yeah.
watch it there, you know, there's 1,000 bars in the city.
They'll find a
I
way to
actually,
figure it
I
out.
actually ended up watching one like a few blocks away, and then after it, then I went to the garden to where all the madness was happening. You know what I
Right,
mean? So
right.
they could try and stop us, but that's never gonna happen. We're
Yeah.
gonna be out there wilding no matter what.
OKC, big game, right? Game 7, OKC versus San Antonio tonight in OKC, Oklahoma. How do you see this one playing out? Who do you prefer to
Big
play in the
game, man.
finals?
I see this, I see this going down to the wire. I don't see any team getting blown out. I know the Spurs did win by a good amount though the last game. I would hope for that. So that right there answers your question. I would like to play the Spurs. We played some good games with them during the season. I mean, I think one was a Christmas game or something like that. It was
Yeah,
like
it's close.
it was a holiday. It was a real close game. The second game was also a close game that we played with them, and I believe they beat us one time. So I believe we're 2-1 against them during the regular season. But they played us good, man. I like to watch Wemby play. You know, he's an exciting player. Good thing we're gonna be able to watch him for years to come. I love he doesn't complain much. You know, he keeps moving, he keeps playing, he keeps pushing. Now on the flip side, OKC, we already know how they are with the baiting and, you know, getting those phantom calls and everything. So I would like to see the Knicks play the Spurs, just 'cause I feel like it'd be a more exciting series. Not because I'm scared of OKC, because I know the Knicks, we have the talent to go with any team in the NBA. But
Right.
you know, I wouldn't want to see a series where, you know, the refs are just calling everything. It's just gonna piss me off as a fan, and it's not exciting. You know what I mean?
Not
It's not
exciting.
exciting
Yeah,
to watch at all.
right.
So that answers that question. I would love to see him play the Spurs, man. It'd be a great series, I believe. So let's go Spurs tonight.
SGA, two-time league MVP. What comes to mind when you first hear that name, SGA?
What I just said about the phantom calls, the flopping. You know, I can't take anything away from him. He has talent, man. The boy has talent. You don't get MVP just by flopping. You know what I
Right.
mean? So the boy has a lot of talent. He's growing a lot in this league. And we saw, you know, he was a no name for me when he first came in. You know, maybe also because of the markets we're in. You know, New York, we're not getting OKC games. So, but I have seen him, you know, grow in the league. All power to him, all respect and props to him. But lately, especially this season, we've seen it where he's trying to get into baiting players to foul him and, you know, jumping up and falling down every play. So, you know, that's not good for the league, I don't believe. So, you know, I don't like seeing that. There's plenty of other fans that don't like seeing that, except probably the OKC fans. But like I said, man, he has a lot of, you know, tremendous talent, but you know, leave that flopping stuff at home, man. You got to get rid of that, bro.
Do you blame him? Because for him, he's looking at it like he's got an advantage versus the opponents, right? And the ref's not gonna call it. Why not keep on doing it until the
No, you're
refs
right.
figure it out?
It's just
Yeah,
like when you're a kid and you do something you're not supposed to do and you get away
right.
with it, you know, and if
Keep
you're
doing
gonna
it and doing it and
keep
doing it,
getting
yeah,
away with it and you're gonna
until you
keep
get
getting
caught.
away, then you're gonna keep doing it. So you're right. You know, I don't blame him in a way because as long as the refs keep calling it, he's gonna be like, why not? That's my bread and butter. You know,
Yeah,
I'm gonna shoot 20 free throws a game. I'm gonna make 32 points, but 20
yeah,
of them were from the
from the
from the free
free
throw
throw
line.
line. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're right. Like the league has to do something. They'll probably have a meeting this summer. I'm pretty sure there's going to be owners from other teams that also agree with me and do not like the way the league is going by doing that. Not just
Right.
with him. He's not the only player that does it. You know what I
Right.
mean? They were
I think
saying even
Harden was the one that started that back in the day.
yeah,
Harden,
yeah,
you know, agree with
yeah, I
that.
believe
Yep.
so. Exactly. So he didn't
Yeah.
start it, and it's not going to end there. But I believe the league should definitely have a talk about that, have a meeting, and hopefully things will change and we'll get that out of the league, man, because that's not exciting to watch, no matter who does it.
Uh, is rest a good thing for the New York Knicks? I mean, with 9 days off, the first game is on Monday, right? 9 days, feeling good, feeling healthy. Is this good? Or you prefer him to play every other day? Kind of slows the momentum
That's the
down.
whole rest versus rush talk, right? Well,
Yeah.
I do like the rest. I do.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie because especially, it's a long, grueling season. Guys get hurt. As we saw, OG got hurt the series before, and that rest really helped him come back. He wasn't 100%, but he came back because of that rest. Imagine going Game 7, and we were gonna need him, and then coming to play another series like 2 or 3 days later, the next, the finals. So I do like the rest for them. I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of those guys that, like I said, the body of a NBA player, 82 games plus how many games in the playoffs, you need
Yeah.
that rest. Yes, they do come out with some rust sometimes in that first game,
Right.
but sometimes just the first quarter. And then after that, you get into the momentum of the game, and then it's like, you've been playing all week
Right.
long. So,
Yeah.
I prefer definitely to rest for them to rest, man.
Was that kind of like they came out a little rusty, right? Versus the Cavs, that first
They
game,
did.
right?
They did,
Down
yeah.
by
Like
like,
I
yeah,
noticed
it was
that.
like, what were they doing? And then they were down by 22. At that point, did you think that game was over? You took the TV off or you were watching the game?
No,
You were like, no,
no, I don't. You know why?
okay.
Because even we learned from last year that when they were down big in certain games last year and they came
Yeah.
back.
Right.
Last year is when I thought, oh, they have no chance. But when
Okay.
I saw how they easily can come back from being down 20 points, then I
Right.
knew that this year was no problem.
Okay.
And not to promote betting, but you know what I would do is I wait till the Knicks are down every game. I don't bet before the game. I would wait
Okay.
till they're down 10, 15 points. Boom, slam all my money down on the Knicks because I know they're known for coming back. Their
Yeah. Yeah.
comebacks are epic. You know what I mean? So
Right.
no, to answer your question, last year yes, but this year no, because I know that they're known for coming back from being down. So I believe in them no matter how many points they're down. What was that about, first of all?
He's got to strap that up. He's got to strap that pinky up. He's got to go,
I
right?
feel like he did an Amari or something, like, something had nothing
Yeah.
to do with the game when, he hurt himself. I don't know if he punched, I'm talking about Mario, like a fire stick or
Back
something
in the
like
day.
that, or a glass,
Yeah.
and fucked up his hand. I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to curse.
It's all good. All good, man.
But yeah, man, it's a pinky. He's not a shooter. We don't need him to shoot. He's in there to block and get rebounds. So, he might not be 100% for doing that, but I think he'll be ready. Just tape that, that pinky finger to your ring finger and let's go, man. Keep it moving. If it was like a foot or, a toe thing like he's been having, then it might have been a problem. But again, he's not a shooter, so he'll be all right. Just block and rebound, bro.
Spurs versus Knicks, 1999, man. 27 years ago. What were you doing in 1999? Where were you in 1999?
1999. I
Yeah.
was a teenager. I was, let me see, they play in June. I think I was in middle school. Yeah, I was in eighth grade, probably going to high school. So, was being outside, riding bikes, playing basketball every day at the park, and then, coming home in the evenings to watch those games, man. And I was just like, after seeing game one, I was like, it looks like we have no shot because, like I just went through it earlier, the players we had compared to the players they had, it was like, first of all, we were the eighth seed. We had no business even being there.
Being there. Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
But again, that's New York, man. We always the underdog. We're always the underdog going in. So it was exciting to watch. But again, the Spurs were just such a dominant team, and with the Twin Towers
Twin
of Tim Duncan
Towers.
and
Yeah.
David Robinson, that
Avery
Sean
Johnson.
Elliott, I
Sean
think
Elliott.
Mario
Mario
Elliott,
Ellie.
Avery
Bruce
Johnson, man.
Bowen.
They had a
Yeah.
squad, man. I'm telling you,
Had
I've
a
been
squad.
watching NBA for many years, bro. So I can
Yeah.
name all the players.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and then we had aging players, or like I said, a young, skinny Marcus Camby. How you expect him to hold down the Twin Towers?
Right.
Or Kurt Thomas, that's like 6'6", and he's in his older years. So we had no shot, but it was exciting seeing the Knicks be in the finals. I wasn't in the city, every day like I am now as an adult because I was only about 13 years old back then. But it's still exciting, man, watching the Knicks, and it's been a long time coming, man. We've been salivating at the mouth, man, waiting for this. So I'm telling
Yeah.
you right now, Kenford, man, the city's going to burn if we win. They gotta call the not the I'm sorry, the National fucking
The
Guard,
National
man.
Guard.
They're gonna have to call the National Guard because, man, this is
Man,
gonna
oh,
be
man.
no joke. The city, man, we've been waiting on this 26, 27 years, man.
Thoughts on Brunson, man? Can he win the chip? Is he going to be the king of New York? Right now, Aaron Judge, king of New York right now. But if Brunson wins the chip for New York, to me, he's going to be the most beloved Nick of all time, right? No question.
For sure. For sure. His position's already solidified. I feel like he should retire, Nick. And if he gets us
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
championship, he's
Yeah.
definitely going to be the king of New York because, again, when was the last time New York had a championship in general? You
Yeah.
know?
2009 with the Yankees. That's about it.
Yeah, and then I
Years.
mean the
Yeah.
Giants in 11,
2012. Yeah. 11,
12,
12. Yeah.
11 going
Yeah.
12, yeah, the 11,
Yeah.
12 season. But again, like those sports, they depend on a lot more players. Starting five is five players. Football, has a lot more players, and same with baseball. So this one guy definitely brought New York basketball back, man. And
Yeah.
if he brings us this chip, man, he's good anywhere he goes, man. Like I said, man, he could go to the most dangerous neighborhoods in New York City, and he's good, man. We respect him.
For
So
sure.
he brings us this, man. He's gonna get the key to the city. He's gonna get everything, bro. No matter
Yeah.
whatever you want, bro. The city is yours. So
A
let's
lot of
go.
talk on chatter this week. Becky Hammond said 2 years ago, Brunson's a small guy. He's this, he's that. He can't win a chip. I mean, she forgot about Isaiah Thomas did it, right? Steph
Yeah,
Curry did it. And now here
correct,
we are years later. Brunson, why
correct.
not?
You just gotta have the right chips around you, man. Like, I mean, to me, that comment in itself, like a small player will never win a
Yeah.
championship, or when he's your best player. I think
When
that's
he's your
what she
best
said.
player when you win a
When
championship.
the small player is your best player, you're not gonna win a championship. Like the league is now what it used to be, where you needed bigs. Bigs aren't
Right.
used
Bigs are outside shooting threes now.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not back to the basket now, just standing in the post anymore. So I don't know why she would even think saying that comment. Like was a smart idea. But again, like you said, Isaiah Thomas, man, he wasn't barely 6 feet, and he
Barely.
won.
Yeah.
He won with surrounding pieces that they needed to put around him. And that's the thing. You don't need a bunch of superstars to win championships. You just need the right
The
pieces.
right
You
pieces.
had
Yeah.
Rodman to rebound. You had Lambeer. He had, Joe Dumars, the
Rick
shooter.
Mahar and Joe Dumars. Yeah.
Exactly. So you just
Yeah.
have to have the right pieces, which, I think Leon Rose put around Brunson.
Yeah.
He could have brought a Giannis, if he would have gave all those first round picks for Mikal. Like we could have brought a Giannis or any other superstar, but you don't need that. You just need the right pieces to fit. And then everybody comes together. And in the good words of my boy Clyde Frazier, you need that cohesion.
Yeah.
You know
That
what I mean?
cohesion.
And then that's what the Knicks have right now, man. We got the scrappy guys like Josh Hart. We got the shooters. We got the defenders. We got the rebounders. We put all that together, man. This is
Yeah.
the recipe for a championship team.
Championship team. For sure, man. And it's crazy looking back at it because Brunson took less money to be here in New York. It was kind of like,
Yes,
hey, we got Brunson. All right. But did you want Donovan Mitchell? Because he's a hometown guy, New York
for
guy. It was
sure.
just like,
For sure, I
we
wanted
got
Donovan
Brunson,
Mitchell
but
to come
we
to New
wanted
York.
Donovan, right?
Of course, for sure, 100%. Donovan Mitchell was already a star, especially for what he was doing in
In
Utah.
Utah?
You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah, for
mean? Like he
sure.
was balling, and then we got Brunson. I'm like, I didn't really even know of him too much. Like,
Right,
yes, I did know of him, but again, I'm mainly I watch the Knicks games. I'm not watching other
right,
teams unless
right.
it's a big game. Obviously I know what he did when Luka went down and Jalen Brunson stepped up in the playoffs. He was
Yeah,
averaging like 25, 26 points in those playoffs. So, I know he was a good player. Did I or anybody in New York or anybody in the whole country think he was
think
gonna
he was
do
gonna be like
New
this.
York?
Yeah,
No way. And as you see on all those clips on Instagram, even though the Stephen A. Smiths of the world, the Wemmys, all of them, they were all doubting him. You know what I mean? And I think it takes a lot, especially for a player that you're not a superstar yet, for you to take a pay cut. And that says
yeah.
a lot to his character.
He
Melo
bet
could
on
have took a
himself.
pay cut. Maybe if Melo would have took a pay cut, we would have had a better team
He
around
get
him.
more pieces around you. Yeah,
He got
exactly.
the most money he could. So, for
Yeah,
Brunson, man, that says a lot, man. I really respect that dude's character, his game, everything about him, man. He's like He's somebody you would want to be
Yeah.
very proud of, yo, for real, to lead your team.
There's definitely that work ethic too, because you see his pops back in the day pushing him on those old VHS tapes, right? Like going hard, like just
Yeah.
keep going,
I
keep going,
mean,
keep going. I think hard work beats talent, man.
yo, that's what I was just gonna say. How many talented guys are in the league that you hear about, but they're not putting in the work?
Yeah,
And Kobe used to expose that, you know what I mean? Like guys, he said like guys will come to practice on time and leave on time.
yeah,
That's not putting in extra work. That's just like me punching in 9 to 5, and then I
yeah,
don't
and be
come in
out.
early to try to learn more about my trade, or I don't stay
Right.
later. I'm just doing the bare necessity
Bare
to get
minimum.
paid. You know what I mean? So it's like that's what makes the difference. That's what elevates the stars to be superstars. You know what I mean?
Superstars.
Some
Yeah.
guys could get along on just talent,
Right.
and then some guys, man, they want more than that, man.
Yeah.
So
With the
that's
work
what
ethic.
Jalen's at, man.
For
That's what
sure.
Jalen's. That's why he deserves to be where he's at right now.
It's crazy, man. Knicks are on this crazy run right now. 11 straight games, man. You surprised? I mean, OG, Cat, Shamit, all guys buying in, like you said, a cohesive unit right now. I mean, I never seen anything like this before.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I knew we were a good team. I knew we were a great team, but to go ahead and sweep the last two teams we played,
Yeah.
Cleveland was. I don't know what their
They
record
never
was.
recovered from game one. I tell somebody that. I was like, the way how the Knicks came back and beat them in game one, that messed up their whole psyche for the entire series. They were done
We were
after that
s-
game.
we were
That was their best
spanking it.
punch. That was their
We were
best punch.
spanking them, and
Yeah.
even the guys that I've seen them play better. It's like they were. I don't know. I don't want to say scared or nervous, but like Mobley and the guys around Donovan and Harding, the guys that they're so used to relying on. It's like they were non-existent. Like they didn't show up. It's like I didn't see nobody step up besides Strus. Would hit a few shots here and there. It was just Donovan and Harden. I feel like those other guys didn't step up. Again, I didn't think we'd end up sweeping them. And then the same with the round before that. Atlanta played us good. Atlanta
Pretty
got
good.
2 games from us,
Yeah. Yeah.
but we did the Cleveland and who's the other team?
Sixers.
See, I can't even, and the
76ers.
Sixers and the
Yeah.
Sixers. Who would have thought we'd do
Yeah.
against the Sixers?
I didn't see
Embiid,
that coming. Yeah.
Maxey.
Yeah.
Who's that young
DJ
kid?
Etchcom. Yeah.
Yeah,
DJ
he's number
Etchcom. Yeah.
7 or something like that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Etchcom.
him.
He's really
Like
good.
they got
Yeah.
a good team. Oh, and Paul George.
Paul George, playoff P. Yeah.
Like, come on, man. And we put
Dominating.
past the belt.
It's so
So
crazy though, because everybody was talking like, we gotta go trade Cat. We gotta trade Cat. Get Giannis in here. I think you guys made the right move though, because sometimes you just gotta like hold back and let just things marinate. You know what I'm saying? And if it didn't work out this year, then maybe go out and get another big piece.
I was
But
one
I'm
of those
glad you
guys.
guys waited, right? You one of those guys. You wanted
I was
Cat
one
from
of
the
the guys.
beginning.
That's why I'm pointing at myself. I was the one
Okay.
that didn't believe in Cat. I said, look, man, he's a phenomenal player. He's definitely a better player than Julius Randle. So, but it was just, he's soft to me. You know what I mean? He's soft.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, he averages a lot of rebounds. He could get you 12, 13, 14 rebounds a game. But to me, it was soft and he was a little, how do I say, like, a little doofy sometimes. You
Yeah,
know what
look
I mean?
goofy. Foul
So
trouble, flailing on the
exactly.
ground. Yeah.
Exactly. So, at first I wasn't sold on him and I was ready to trade and give him up for Giannis. But you know what? Especially in the playoffs, man, he stepped it up, man. He has
Playing
me
different
biting
now.
some of
Yeah,
my
he's
word
playing different.
that I
Yeah,
said about him, and hopefully he keeps it up because we're definitely going to need him to be a big piece for us to win in the finals, no matter
for
who we
sure.
play. You
For
know,
sure. Can the Knicks win the championship? I mean, 11 straight, hot streak, rest, healthy, playing as a team. Can they win it? What's it going to take for them to beat the Spurs or rookies?
if there ever was a New York Knicks team that can win a championship, it's definitely this year.
Okay.
This year is definitely
Yeah.
our year. What's it going to take? Again, just the way we've been playing, Brunson balling out, but also relying on his teammates, believing in them, swinging the ball around. We've seen OG offensively, he's been putting a lot more work than he was last year. Before we use him more as you're going to guard the best guy on the other team. That's what we're going to use you for. Now he's scoring 20, 25 points a game. You know what I mean?
Bodying people down low, man. I'm like,
Yeah, you
man, where
see
did he
that,
learn to
right?
do that?
You see, so not only is he our lockup guy on defense, but now he's also playing offensively great. Mikal Bridges too. He was known for disappearing. He's hitting big
Right.
shots and he's stepping up. That's another guy that I wasn't believing in before, and he's been stepping up, proving me wrong. And then again, we got Mitch with the rebounds and the defense. Shamit's hitting big shots. Deuce is coming in the game, hitting shots when we need him. and playing defense. So it's like this is what it takes for us to win a championship. All our guys, just believing in it, man, believing in the system, believing in each other, swinging that ball around and just balling out the way we balling out, man. We definitely have a great shot at winning this championship, no matter who it
Sure.
is.
If they don't win the championship this year, 2026, how are you going to remember this Knicks team 30 years from now?
First of all, I don't even want to think of them not winning the championship. But if I had to think, I'd say a great season, but it'd be a lost season to me because we played so great, especially in these playoffs. We had a run that was gonna go down for the ages. They showed a list of teams that won 11 in a row. It was only like the Lakers with Shaq and Kobe and, two or three
Three
more
in a row.
teams
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
superstars. You know what I mean? I think it was the Warriors with Durant in them. So it's like not too many teams have done this, won 11 in a row. So if we don't win the championship, to me, it's definitely a lost season because even though we're a great team, I don't think we can repeat what we did this year, next year. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So right now, this is the season. This is the year to win the championship. I believe this is our best shot because who knows what could happen next year.
For
So yeah,
sure.
that's the way I remember it, like a lost season, man. 30 years from now, if we don't win this championship. Coming in.
Has the bar been set though for the Knicks? Could they make like maybe a 5, 6 year run at this Eastern Conference Finals, NBA Finals for the Knicks
The bar
going
has been
forward?
set. So right now,
Okay.
this is very high.
Yeah.
And again, when you know the way the league is, man, it's hard to keep players on the same team. Every year
Salary
is
cap.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
I mean, our big guys, Cat, Brunson, I believe we're keeping those guys, for the long haul. But it's the pieces around, it's the surrounding pieces, the role players that we also need them. Who knows? Sometimes they're on 1 year deals, 1 year, two. I don't know the contracts for those guys. I don't know, with Dues and Shamit and those guys what their contract is looking like, but we need those pieces. So it's hard, man. It's hard to keep like a great team, a dynasty, because of contract issues and salary caps and things like that, man. So like I
Sure.
said, right now is our best shot.
How do you plan on celebrating? Knicks win the championship 2 weeks from now. How is Eddie going to celebrate? How's the city of New York going to celebrate?
I'm gonna be right outside 34th Street, right on the Ave. You're not gonna catch me climbing up no poles though, I'll tell you that right now. But you're definitely gonna see me outside,
Yeah.
probably a bottle in my pocket, all my Knicks gears on, and I'm
Yeah.
calling out of work, man. I'm calling out of work. That closing game, I'm telling them right now, I'm taking off. Just to bring it up real quick. I remember when the Giants were going to the Super Bowl in that year, 2011, 2012.
Yeah.
The week before, I had to request. We had to request a week before. I requested
Okay.
a day off for the parade,
Right.
which I believe was on. They play on Sunday. It was like a Tuesday or Wednesday
Okay.
ahead of time. So this is what I'm gonna end up doing this year as well. I'm requesting from early. I'm gonna find out if we win, when would the parade be,
Great beat.
and
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking request that day off, man,
There
because
you
I gotta
go.
be there for the parade as well. Not just the night that we would win, but also for the
Right.
parade. I'll be on that
Sure.
train early. So yeah,
So
man, it's gonna be madness if we do win, man. It's gonna be madness. I'm telling you, I better see you somewhere out there, Kevin. Yeah, the
oh,
city does
oh,
not have
man.
enough police to contain the New York Knicks
Oh,
fans.
man,
We
it's
win
gonna
a
be bananas.
championship. It's gonna be
Yeah.
Gotham City, man. It's
It's
gonna
gonna
be
be
Gotham
bananas
City.
for
And
sure.
I hope they don't write a script where we don't win just because they're scared of that, because they're
Yeah.
not gonna hold us back.
Sure. I think you guys got a good chance versus San Antonio. I mean, they're young. You guys beat them for the NBA Cup back in November.
Yeah. Hmm.
They're a young team. OKC, they're the champions, right? So they got that edge. But
Yeah, they definitely
got a
do.
good chance. I'm
They've
pulling
been
for
there
you guys,
before.
man. They've been there before. Been there
Exactly.
before. So
So,
I'm pulling
I
for the
don't
Knicks
think
for
we're
the
gonna
first
sweep
time in my
either of
life.
them. I don't think we're
No,
gonna
no, it
sweep
won't be a
either of
clean
them.
sweep. Probably Knicks in six. I would go Knicks
You
in
know what I mean?
six.
Knicks is six. It
Knicks
has a
in
good rank
six.
to it. Let's
Yeah,
go.
6.
Knicks is six, baby.
I'm
All right, you
pulling for
heard
the
it here
Knicks for the
first.
first time. For the first time in my
You
life,
heard
I'm
it
rooting
here
for the
first.
Knicks in the
Kepler
NBA
said
Finals, man.
six, baby.
Yeah,
Let's
Knicks in
go.
6. There you go.
It's gonna be
Before I let
crazy.
you go, man, Arsenal, right? Finally winning the Premier League. How crazy was that, man? You happy for the Arsenal, the
I mean,
Gunners?
of course, I always like to see the underdog, actually get to the top and win. You get tired of seeing the same teams win over and over. When the Patriots win over and over, people got tired of seeing them win every
Yeah,
so
every year, the
so you like
Warriors.
to see an
Yeah,
underdog. You like to see an underdog come in, and then the fact that they won the Premier League instead of like Manchester City or Liverpool or them, And then
Yeah.
now for them to be able to win that and then also have a shot at winning the champions,
Which
that'd
is
be great
going
for
on
them.
today right now, right?
Yeah,
Arsenal
that
versus PSG. What's the
yes,
score update right
and
now? Is it
they're
still
up. They're
1-0?
1-0, 1-0 still.
Wow.
So they have a good shot, of getting that too. So, all power to them. Man, I like to see underdogs, finally get their shot and make the best of it. So let's go Arsenal.
I'm pulling for my guy Saka, man. Big fan of his, man. Bukayo Saka, big fan of
Yeah,
his.
okay,
So
let's
hopefully they
go.
get it. Hopefully they get this job done today.
Yeah, I hope they do, man.
Who does LeBron play for next season, man? Is it the Lakers, the Cavs, the Warriors? What say you?
I think the Lakers is done. I think that time has run out.
It's a dub.
And
Okay.
because especially with the team they have, I don't think they're gonna have a shot next year at the championship, even with Luca. And then it seems like Luca's always getting hurt by the end of the season anyway.
Yeah, he's always hurt, man.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Even from his Dallas days.
Yeah.
Honestly, I see him going back to Cleveland. I see him going home.
Yeah, I think that
I
sweep
see him
made it
going home for
possible,
a
right? If they
farewell
went to the
tour.
finals, yeah. I think the way how the season ended for Cleveland,
They
kind of
went to the
like,
Eastern
yeah, we need
Conference
you.
Finals. Why would he not want to join them?
Right, right, right.
You know what I
Sure.
mean? You give Harden
Yeah.
the boot and bring LeBron there. So I see him coming back home, man. What a farewell tour that would be, man.
Yeah, sure. World Cup is upon us, right? Couple weeks, 2 weeks. James Rodriguez, Messi, Neymar, Ronaldo, Last Dance, Harry Kane, De
Yeah.
Bruyne, all those legends going out in style. What say you, man? What are you excited most about the World Cup, man?
I mean, besides my country, Colombia, watching them play, like you said, it's being able to watch all these legends have their farewell
Yeah,
tour. They
yeah,
said it themselves, like, this is it. And, we've watched them for the past 15 on years, you know, be greats in this game and dominate, So I'm excited, like I said, not just to watch Colombia, but to watch almost every game. So it's like, I'm going to try to get in as many games as I can because we only get this every 4 years. And then
yeah.
getting all these GOATs in one World
In
Cup,
one
like
swoop,
to be their
yeah.
final tour, we don't almost never get that.
Never get
You
that.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I'm really excited, man. We have the Knicks finals coming up. And then right going
The
into
World
it, the
Cup
World Cup starts. And depending on how many games this series goes into, it might, be overlapping. It might be Knicks finals game 6 or 7 when the World Cup starts, I believe. So man, it's exciting, man. It's exciting for New York, for United States that we're hosting, and it's for the whole world, man. I
what a
can't wait.
time, right? Your Knicks win the NBA Finals, then the Colombia wins the World
Oh
Cup.
my
I mean, how
God.
would you? What would you do, man?
That's probably like 1,000 to 1, but yo, if that happened, oh my God, man.
And you'd be in Medellin the next day, Bogota the next day, man.
God, oh yeah, talking about parades, I'm flying out to Colombia for that one. Right, I don't
Yeah,
care how much the flight costs. I'd be
yeah,
flying straight out there the
yeah.
following day. So, what's crazy that the final is actually on our Independence Day, Colombia's
July
Independence Day,
July 19th, right? Yeah,
19. Yeah. No, I'm
yeah,
sorry, it's
yeah.
20th. The 20th is,
Well, the
but we're
20th
doing, we're
is
doing, but we're celebrating because it's a Sunday on the 19th.
the 19th.
Here.
Okay,
So what a
got you,
way, what a way to close that out is if we was
man.
able to get to the World Cup, man.
You'll
But
always remember 2026 if you
but it's a
guys, the
lot of
Knicks.
it's a lot of great teams there, man. We'd be
Yeah,
like, let's say the number 8 seed in the NBA going to the finals, which has happened
yeah.
before.
Which is, you never know. You
You
never know.
never
You
know,
never
man.
know.
Any given
Yeah,
Sunday or Tuesday or wherever day they're gonna play on, So yeah, that'd be awesome though. That'd be great, man. I could die a happy man. Once that
for
happens,
sure,
the Knicks and Columbia winning, man.
man. Oh
I die a
man,
happy man, bro.
for sure.
Don't even get me excited like that.
So you're gonna finish watching the Champions League today, and you planning
Yeah,
on watching the game tonight, Game 7? You planning on watching that?
for
Some
sure,
place?
for sure. You always want to watch
Okay,
your competition. You always
for
want to
sure. A
see
little scout. Yeah,
And like I said, that's been exciting is going watching games, go to game 7, close out games. That's when you see what men are made of. You know what I mean? Who wants it
yeah.
more? This is game 7, do or die like
Game
best
7, do or
style.
die. That's it. I like that. I
Let's
like that
go.
line. Hey, man, always a pleasure chatting up with you, catching up with you in sports. Let's do this again, man. Maybe after the World Cup, we'll dice this down again and see what
For
happens, man.
sure, for sure. We'll talk off air. Definitely we'll catch one of these games.
Sure. He's Eddie Sierra. I'm Kenford. This is Mic'd Up Moments. We are out.
Let's go
Peace.
Knicks,
Let's
baby.
go Knicks. Knicks
Knicks and
Spurs. I
6,
want that
baby.
rematch.
Knicks
Knicks
and
and
6,
six.
baby. Let's
Knicks and
go.
six.
You
Knicks
heard
and
it here
six.
first. My brother. Appreciate you.
Yeah, that was good, man. As always.